Hello fellow geeks, and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather and I am so glad you're here today because it is one of my favorite times of the year. It is October, it is spooky season, it is officially autumn. And so you may be wondering, what does this have to do with running? Well, there are some fun and festive ways to add a little bit of fall fling to your running routine. So if this sounds like something that might interest you, help you get into the spirit of the season, then why don't you make sure that you stay tuned? And if you are new here, make sure that you click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the running content that I have coming out all the time. Right now, let's dive into it like a big pile of leaves. My first tip for adding just a little bit of autumn to your routine is to just find a chance to go outside. If you haven't had a chance to go outside in a little while and this is something that's available to you, then definitely go out and experience the changing of the seasons. It's so nice to kind of feel things cool down from, well, we have really hot summers here, and just to see and feel everything cool down, to watch the leaves changing color. It is absolutely wonderful, and it definitely makes me feel better just doing that much. My second tip for having a fun and festive fall when you are running is if you are out for a run outdoors and you see a pile of leaves laying on the street or on the trail, definitely run through them. One of my absolute favorite parts of the fall is the fact that we have all these crunchy leaves lying around. I will gladly run a step or two out of my way to step on a particularly crunchy looking leaf. So why not just embrace the kid in you and dive into some leaves when you see them? Number 3, while you're running, why not switch to an appropriate spooky season playlist? Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, then you know that I have a playlist that comes out every month on Spotify, and I have made a Halloween playlist, and that's going to be available at a link down in the description. I also have just a playlist that I use for my own personal use that has a ton of spooky and Halloween songs that are on it. So if you are an Apple iTunes user, I'm going to put a link to that down below too if you would like to check that out. But sometimes just hearing some fun and funky spooky beats can get you going on a run and really get you in the mood. Number 4, I am a firm believer that you cannot play dress up too often, so why not find an excuse to run in costume? It doesn't have to be anything that's particularly involved. You can just put whatever you have together to go out and look a little bit like your favorite character. It doesn't even have to be obvious. Maybe you're the only one that knows what character you're playing that day, but it's still something that kind of gets you in the mood and reminds you of those old days when you went trick-or-treating. Number 5, why not switch out some of your regular fuel flavors for something that's a little more autumn? For example, maybe you switch from applesauce to applesauce with cinnamon, which is something that I love doing right now. Another one that I really love is using the Tailwind Recovery in the salted caramel. Wonderful, wonderful flavor, and it's definitely fitting for this time of year. There's also a salted caramel goo if you are into using goo packets when you run. So there's lots of different flavors that are out there. Maybe you can find one that's just a little bit more fall oriented to kind of get you out and going while you are running around in that fall weather. Number 6, why not refuel with some pumpkin? One of my favorite things to do is to make a nice batch of pumpkin bread and have a slice of that after I come in after a run. It gives me that nice hit of carbs and sugar that kind of revive me after a long, hard effort. Or if that's not your thing, you can even make pumpkin muffins. Maybe even make a little bit of banana bread. Find something that's fall flavored that you can refuel with. And you can't go wrong with a pumpkin spice latte. And finally, when you are showering or bathing after that long run or after that workout, then why not switch to something that is going to be a little bit fall scented? This is one that I use right now, and it's made by a local retailer that's here in town, and this is one that is pumpkin and clove, and it just smells like autumn. I absolutely love it. So if you have that available to you, if you have maybe some soap makers around that make something like this, you can also check out Etsy stores. There are tons of soap makers on Etsy that make wonderful smelling things just like this, and every time you do that, you are helping support a small business. So there you go. There are some suggestions for adding just a little bit of fall festivity to your spooky season while you are out and about running running and exercising and getting it done, especially right now when we are in the midst of marathon season. Don't forget that I'm going to be running the Little Rock Marathon soon, so you're not going to want to miss any of my last minute reports on that, and of course my report on the race day itself. So make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss out. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are going to be down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thanks so much for watching. I'm so glad you could be here, and I can't wait to see you next time. Happy running!